Hello people, it is really cold and windy outside right now, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. But there's something I've been thinking about, and I really wanted to share it with you. Oh man, there goes the wind again. Okay, just gonna have to bear with it. Also, I just needed to hug something warm, but this is my little thylacine plush. Just ignore him for now. I will get to him later. I really wanted to talk to you all about is the problem of ableism. Not just in America, but in the entire world. There is a huge problem of ableism everywhere. And I'm not entirely sure, excuse me, I'm not entirely sure how to tackle it because, well, it's so ingrained in a lot of our brains, and a lot of it stems from a lack of understanding about, well, multiple disabilities, multiple health conditions, and also capitalism, and that people's worth comes from their productivity, but it also comes from the fact that there is a lack of empathy in a lot of people, but in a lot of societies, including America. And that's just, a thing. There are a lot of places where you cannot immigrate to if you have a disability or a chronic condition. This does not just affect young people with disabilities, but it also affects the elderly. Not only is it incredibly unfortunate, but it's also, pretty discriminatory. I understand that, countries want people who can come into their country, who can work, who can contribute to their society. But the other thing is, there are multiple types of work, okay? Human beings are worth more than what they can produce. Human beings are worth living because they are human beings. If you are alive and if you are here, you should be automatically worthy of dignity, of respect, of equality, of healthcare. You should automatically be treated like a human being because you are. Many people look at me and they see this video, and you'll probably think, what's this girl yapping about? You'll probably think, oh, she's probably a little bit weird, a little bit goofy, because she's holding this weird thylacine plush, and it's really cold and windy out, and she's yapping away about immigration rights, right? But guess what? You haven't looked further. I have a bachelor's degree in sociology, and I have multiple interests. I have ADHD as well as other mental illnesses. I was born with a very rare disability called Poland syndrome, which causes very severe back pain and shoulder pain and very limited mobility, especially in my right hand. I am also a type 1 diabetic. If I could find somebody else with all of these conditions all at once, that would be a freaking miracle. I know people who used to work day in and day out who no longer can. I know people who want to do their jobs and who can't. And I also know people who honestly are glad that they can only do as much work as they can. We should not be limiting our lives to one aspect of it. Having other people in your lives, no matter their ability or disability, someone can contribute so much more to the society around them, whether or not they are producing something. Because whether or not that is a tangible production, as in working in a factory line, or sitting at a desk all day, or making phone calls, there is also emotional benefit. Have you ever sat down And have you ever spoken to some of these people? Have you ever spent time with them? If the current administration decides to cut Medicaid, if the current administration decides to destroy Medicare, millions of people are going to die. And it breaks my heart that there are going to be some that say, well, that's just how it is. Survival of the fittest, right? Fun fact, that is not what Charles Darwin meant by survival of the fittest. What Charles Darwin meant by survival of the fittest was that certain species within certain clades, within certain environments, can survive, okay? That also includes the social species. That also includes humanity. Humanity has shown signs time and time again of caring for their elderly, the young, and those who cannot fend for themselves, the weaker. If that's the case, if survival of the fittest and the way that most people perceive it truly is a thing, then explain that to me. Not only that, but tell me, look me in the eyes and look all the other billions of people in the eyes and tell them that you are comfortable committing them directly and or indirectly to their deaths. Thank you for watching. I'd love to know what you think.